Nobody had any freaking idea. I was working at nights in a pizza restaurant in Omaha for 6 weeks. I ran my company remotely. Nobody knew.
You sell well over $500 million a year in real estate, and you have hundreds of agents.
We went from 100 to 300 in like a year and a half. How the hell am I going to protect my business if I don't know how to run it? One of the things that helped grow our organization was understanding just the whole sales cycle from the internet click all the way to that appointment and to the meeting and beyond. We simply just replicate what the successes that we've had on the buyers and sellers. Why can't we do this with agents? Something the Army's taught me. I was the commander. I was in charge. These men lost their lives based off decisions I made or didn't make. And how does that help me in business? I know that everything that happens or fails to happen here, it's my responsibility.
You sell well over $500 million a year in real estate, and you have hundreds of agents. What keeps you up at night in the industry right now in real estate?
You know, I think that what keeps me up at night is I have a responsibility to my people to keep them fed, keep them trained, and keep opportunities thriving. And I want to make sure that every day that I come to this office that I'm just, staying committed to that and making sure that we're giving our agents and their families that depend on me the biggest opportunities that we can give them, and making sure that they could fulfill their promises to the customers that we share, the buyers and sellers and in Texas. And so what keeps me up at night is making sure that our commitment to our agents is fulfilled.
Yeah, and you see a wide range of everything that's like happening in the industry.
Yeah.
And for example, you could look at some brokerages like Serhant. They came out with an AI to do something with like administrative work. You have Side looking at it from a transaction level and some other things. You guys have AI, which we'll get into as well. But I was curious, when you look at AI, you have consumers who think it's going to commoditize the real estate industry, it's going to change it. But then the reality of it, like, where do you see AI playing its role in the industry, and where do you see like some people maybe even overhyping it?
Yeah, I think AI is just going to help both consumers and agents perform better, faster, and more efficiently. I don't think it's going to replace agents or, you still got to get face-to-face and interact with somebody. You still got to crawl in the attic. You still got to show up to the closing. You still have to get the inspection. There's so much that still has to be done that the robots haven't figured out how to do yet. And so I love AI. It helps me move faster. It helps me think bigger. It helps me solve problems more efficiently, but I still need to be there to help people and families win. And so I just don't see it replacing agents anytime soon. But I do think that the agents that don't use AI will be replaced by agents that do use AI. So I don't see AI as a threat. I see it as an opportunity, and we absolutely embrace it here in our organization.
Yeah, and one thing that I was talking to Guy Gal, the CEO side, we talked about how there's 1.5 million agents doing 4.5 million transactions today. I think it was like 20 or 30 years ago, there was like 500, 600,000 agents doing about 4 to 4.5 million transactions. And his kind of thought process is like AI is not replacing the agent, but some of the bottom level agents might not be able to. We just don't need that many agents in the industry necessarily.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that we're seeing agents be able to do more than they ever have. My Uncle Anthony, who just passed away earlier this year, he used to run a brokerage in San Jose, California. And I remember early conversation that Uncle Anthony and I had when I first got started in my real estate business. He said, "Damn it, Levi, if you had to do real estate like I had to do it, knocking on doors with the MLS books, there's no way you'd be able to sell as many houses as you have." Now, that conversation took place in 2010, before the whole AI boom took place. And that was a man that sold real estate after the Vietnam War, the old-fashioned way with the MLS books and knocking on the doors. And he was comparing that to me when, the new CRM top producer was out and I had this huge advantage over him. So I think it's just changing,
Just
that's all.
different times, new technology.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So in your eyes, you see it more as like it increases the efficiency of the agent. They're able to do more with less and stuff like that.
Well, that, and it also accelerates the opportunity to learn faster as well. So our agents are able to learn what they need to learn to go operate at much more, at a higher rate of speed. No longer they need to sit in a class for 6 weeks to learn something. They can learn that in 6 hours or 6 minutes or maybe 60 seconds. It depends on what it is that they're trying to learn.
From your perspective, from what you've seen, what do agents actually want in a brokerage, and what should agents or brokerages offer for agents?
Well, I think it's different for the type of agent, right? Like if you have an agent that's very independent and doing their business on their own and they're well-rounded, they've been in the business for a long time, I think that maybe they're looking for the least expensive brokerage that's going to offer them what they need to operate their business. However, a different avatar of agent that, let's say they are not able to generate the business opportunities that they need to go ahead and operate at the level that they want. Like, I'll give you an example. We have an agent here at our company. I won't mention her name, but she was a very high-performing agent on the West Coast in Portland. She came out here, moved out to Texas, and absolutely had no SOI or nothing here in this major metro San Antonio. But then, coming into an ecosystem like ours where we're providing leads and opportunities and training for how to convert our leads was exactly what she was looking for, and she's performing very well, right? And so I think a lot of agents really want that coaching, that teaching, that mentorship. They want the fastest pathway to make the most money as humanly possible. And that's different for every agent, right? Not every brokerage is the right brokerage for every agent. And so for us, for our brokerage, we attract a lot of people that enjoy our partnerships. We have a lot of partnerships with companies like Zillow, do a lot of Google business. We have other lead aggregators that we're partnered with. And so facilitating that lead flow and teaching our agents how to get face-to-face and close that business is the type of agent that we're attracting that's attracted to that. But not every agent needs or wants that either.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different models out there. There's a flat fee model, where there's a no fee model, there's 100% models. There's a ton of different models out there. And I think agents should look for wherever they're happiest, And so, yeah.
So from a brokerage perspective, how do you think through your business model? Do you build for one agent? Do you try to build for multiple agents, or how do you think through that?
So for me, our business model is largely built on providing business opportunities to our agents, right?
Yeah.
So I have to build to that model to where it makes sense economically, not only for myself, not only for our partners, but for our agents as well. When you have three hands in the pot, it gets incredibly difficult to do that, right? And so for us, we've been very fortunate. We have a little over 300 agents, and to have a team, like a team bridge, is what a lot of people are classifying my model as an independent brokerage that operates as a team. And so to have 300 agents in that model is very rare. There are some that are bigger, but not many. And so we've been very fortunate to, grow what we have, and we've got great people helping us do it. So I think that, for my model, it's just making sure that we can operate within the margins that keep us profitable. But the way we get there is by keeping our agents happy, keeping them profitable, keeping our customers served at a high level as well. So it's something that we're constantly looking at. I'm evaluating it literally on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, because it's a rapidly changing environment.
Fluid.
Yeah.
And when you think of the different ways for agents, teams, brokers to build the business, what do you think of? Do you see agents maybe consolidating under teams, under brokerages, or maybe boutique brokerages consolidating? Do you see any consolidation, or do you see it everyone is able to build within their own lane?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of consolidation recently. I see a lot of teams and smaller brokerages maybe go to bigger brokerages. Also see individual agents join teams that may not have joined teams before. I think it's happening at every single level, and I just think that why it's happening in real estate is incredibly more different than it was 2 years ago. I didn't say more difficult. I said more is different, right? For some, that may be more difficult. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I think agents are going to gravitate towards where whatever their weaknesses are, and the brokerage that they go to helps them. That's maybe their strength, right? And so they want to go somewhere where they can thrive. If the agent maybe is either weak in or struggling, or maybe just has some financial limitations to get them to compete, to get those leads or those opportunities, well, maybe they'd be attracted to a model like mine. Or maybe an agent that has a big SOI out there be attracted to a low fee, flat fee place that maybe they're more experienced or what have you. So there's consolidation at all levels. People are joining teams that never joined teams before. Teams that were thriving were joining big brokerages and so forth and so on. And it's a wild marketplace right now.
Yeah, and I was curious to talk about like today's markets like this when you're going through like a downturn. How does any level, like agent, team, broker, stay profitable when like transactions contract?
You got to save money. I think in the good years, you gotta tuck money away. You have to stay engaged in your P&L on a weekly, monthly basis. You really have to cut things fast that aren't working, but then also revenue solves a lot of problems. Recruiting solves a lot of problems, and so one of the things that helped us after interest rates freaking took a shot to the moon was our recruiting. We focused heavily on getting agents. We went from 100 to 300 in like a year and a half, and so getting more agents was a recipe to helping us save ourselves and make sure that we didn't fall to the wayside when interest rates shot up, because they shoot up like a rocket and they fall like a feather, And so, yeah.
And at your level, your customer becomes the agent.
100%.
And so like instead of kind of chasing the lead, it's how do you grow the agent count in a way? And so in these times, how do you kind of think through, you're not passively prospecting agents at that point. You have to go very heavy active prospecting, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so we have systems to recruit agents in our organization, and one of the things that helped grow our organization was understanding just the whole sales cycle from the internet click all the way to that appointment and to the meeting and beyond. And when we were thinking about how we're going to grow our company, I was like, how can I partner with a company that can help us drive inbound leads of agents into our ecosystem, because that's what I know very well. I was giving you the tour earlier and you saw our ISA team.
Yep.
And what we do is we simply just replicate what the successes that we've had on the buyers and sellers with, buyers click on Google or Zillow or what have you. They end up going to our ISA team. We connect them with an agent. They get face to face and the story continues. Well, we decided, hey, well, why can't we do this with agents? And so we did a lot of social media campaigns. We partnered with some companies. There's a company that we use called Humanize.
Oh yeah, I think I know of the founder.
Okay.
Yeah. I forget his name.
Yeah, Chris Giannos. Yeah. So partnered with a company called Humanize with Giannos over there, and then they help drive inbound for us, and then it gets staffed to our mentors and our recruiters, and then they just do the same thing, get face to face, set an appointment, talk about the value propositions that we have at our organization, and an agent can make a choice. We run a bi-weekly onboarding that we have in the company, usually 6 to 10 agents, every couple of weeks that are in our onboarding, and it just continues. So that's how we do it.
So you get very active, like in that time from 100 to 300, you're just like kind of head down probably in the recruiting side from your perspective as a CEO?
Yeah, absolutely. And then, now we have a recruiter, but then also Our agents. Our agents drive a lot of attraction to our company as well. And so there's some incentives for the agents also to bring on other agents and so forth, which is a trend throughout the real estate space, especially right now. And so, we embrace all of that, and it's a multifaceted approach to get more agents, and so, and then we'll train them, we'll teach them, we'll give them the opportunities they need to succeed. At the core of my business, the thing that I think that we do the best is it takes probably 10 to 12 years for a real estate agent to build a lifelong book of business. It's going to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's going to take thousands of hours of time. And if it works in 10 to 12 years, you'll have a lifelong book of business to just basically aggregate, opportunities for you for the next 10 to 12 years. And then you retire. But what we do here is we condense that 10 to 12 years through opportunities, coaching, training, down to 1 to 2 years. And so agents that come in our ecosystem, they will get just a fire hose of opportunities, a fire hose of training. I still lead a weekly deep dive with my agents that goes on for 2 hours every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Like, that thing does not get compromised. And so I lead that every week, and it's just super important. So we will fire hose them with education, with opportunities and training, mentorship, coaching, culture, you name it. So they have that opportunity of 1 to 2 years to really build themselves a lifelong book of business. And so that's the goal.
So when you think of how you compress 10 years into 2, the training, accountability, like, what are the things, if you had to say, like, these are the most instrumental things that we have put in our business for that, what would those be?
To people and partnerships. I would say number one, our people. I've got great staff. I have great mentors. We have great agents. We just have a lot of great people in the LRG ecosystem. And in our partnerships, we have no stronger partner than Zillow. Zillow's been a great partner to our organization. And ever since that very first phone call that I got from them in 2010, excuse me, it's grown over the years. And today we're one of the largest flex partners in the entire country. And so we closed, I think, in June and July, probably 120 flex deals each month, and so we have a very large partnership with Zillow. And so people and partnerships, I have an extremely large database as well that aggregates a lot of opportunities for our people. But if I had to throw a dart at 2 things, people and partnerships.
So I want to dive into both the Zillow Flex partnership and the people and organizational side.
Yeah.
I was curious, from an organizational side, at 300 and the support staff that you have around it, can you give some sort of picture around what that organizational units look like, the different departments, and how you maybe structure things, because you think very strategically about it? Yeah,
absolutely. So I am very involved, right? So I am not the team lead that's out on, and nothing against my friends that do this, but I am not the hey, let's go out and speak at an event and another event and speak at another event. I'm an operator. I'm deep. I'm up to my elbows in agent stuff. And so
I like that.
I'm here every day, 7:30, 8 a.m. and I leave, 5:30, 6, sometimes 8, just depends. And I still wake up every day enjoying coaching, teaching, training real estate agents. When that changes, well, then maybe my organization will change. But I am driving the ship here, and I enjoy that. But I have a lot of people, a lot of wonderful people helping that. And so we have our managing broker. She helps with a lot of systems and processes in the infrastructure of the organization. We have a listing department manager. So we like to break down basically the buy side and the list side. And so we're, our agents that they'll have a buyer side mentor that's focused on buy side conversion and accountability, and they have a listing side mentor that's focused on the listing side conversion processes and accountability as well. We have an ISA team. We have 8 ISA team members here in our company that support our operation. And then also we have a logistics coordinator. And we have one of the neat things that we have that we retained from our Zillow Offers partnership is we retained the capability to do desktop appraisals. And so when we were partnered with Zillow, we'd have to do in real time desktop appraisals, i.e. CMAs, to help Zillow make decisions on what house they want to buy or not buy or how much, or et cetera, et cetera. Where we retain that capability when that partnership sunsetted, when that program sunsetted. And so all of our agents, when they get a listing appointment, they have a full desktop appraisal ahead of the appointment. So they could go in there with actual like data, not like an assumption, you know, and they can go in there and like, hey, we have somebody that is looking at it through the perspective or the lenses of an appraiser. This is what we think your home's worth, et cetera. Now, you know, and so that's a neat tool, but we've got a lot of great people here, but our agents and their engagement into the ecosystem is profound, and it's just a really, really neat culture that we have here. So,
how instrumental has that desktop appraisal been in the business? Like, if you had to say, like, oh, like, could you tell like a story or something that around it?
Absolutely, yeah. So, I mean, our guy Irvin, he has done a phenomenal job of being able to just provide a perspective through a lens that a lot of newer agents just can't see yet, right? So if you've just got into you just got into the industry, and you go out there and you're doing a listing appointment with the Johnson family or at the Johnson family's house, it's a median home value home, it's a competitive situation, and you're just now learning how to do CMAs, you're just now learning the industry, but they really, really like you. Well, they're gonna lack confidence in your capability, but then you show up and you say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, one of the unique value propositions of working with my organization is we have a desktop appraisal on staff, and our desktop appraiser, he prepared this document for us to go ahead and look at here. And what I want to do is just walk around your home and check out your home, and we can go ahead and marry that up with his analysis and really come together and help you make a decision of what you'd like to list your home at. And so that happens every day in our organization. We've also used that capability for our agents to make smarter choices on investment properties for themselves, you know, and also for our partners as well. And so we have a couple partnerships with investors that I really appreciate that aspect as well. So it's been widely beneficial to us.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is there any other like support staff on the organizational side that you're like, this was a very surprising but like really great hire?
You know, yeah, absolutely. So our marketing and media person that we hired last year, man, I'm not going to mention her name because I want to be a stealer, but she's phenomenal. Like she can literally read my mind, and like I'll come up with an idea, and like literally she'll be like, "Yeah, here's the graphic," and I'm like, that's exactly what I was envisioning. And so we did a phenomenal job of identifying the right person for that role. And so she does just a phenomenal job of making multimedia, just whatever it is that we need to make to put out there on social. So,
what's her like some of her core functions? Like, what is she kind of in charge of?
Yeah, so she'll do our newsletters, she'll do our graphics. We have a whole system in process. Whenever a listing goes live, she's doing all the open house stuff, all the graphics and flyers for the agents, you know. And so Myra and the team really have a good process to communicate. We use Slack a lot. So there's workflows all through Slack. I can't speak to all that. I just see the notifications dinging all over the place. And so I stay away from all that stuff. But yeah, they've got great systems and processes to make sure that she's kept up to date on what she needs to do, and then she does it. And it works really well without me, so which is ideal.
So the team has basically a marketing and media person that they can leverage kind of like any time.
Absolutely.
That comes in handy.
100%. Additionally, we have a partnership with the company where we created a white label. It's called LRG Mod, but what it does is it allows the agents to go in there and make postcards, and they can very easily do all the stuff that they need to do to manage their own business as well. And so if an agent just wants to do it on their own and make their own flyers or what have you, they can do it. It's with a company called a Breakthrough Broker. And,
Breakthrough Broker, yeah.
So they built a white label product for us, and our agents love it, you know, but not all of them want to do that stuff, you know. You'd rather just send a Slack message and say, hey, can you make me a flyer, you know? And so, yeah, all right, well, we can do that.
And kind of looking at all of these things, when you look at what you're trying to invest in to be, because ultimately at the end of the day, like there's a few models that you can do as a team or as a brokerage, and ultimately the team is kind of building the infrastructure for the agent so that they don't have to go and build that. They can just
Right.
plug in and then be successful without having to hire all these people. And I was curious from your lens, what do you think is very instrumental for a team or a brokerage to build within so that the agent doesn't necessarily have to do that?
Yeah, I mean, you got to be able to set that appointment. Whoever controls that appointment wins, right? Like, and so
Yeah.
got to be able to put them in face to face with the customer. If you can't deliver that appointment, I just don't know how you could run a real estate team without doing that.
Makes sense.
So
So then, in times like this, when you're thinking of like where to cut back, where to invest in, like how do you kind of think through that, and like where do you kind of look?
So we just had Tom Ferry on to our weekly deep dive the other day, and Tom has been a good friend of mine. And Tom, I personally coach with Tom, and just a great guy. And we were talking right before he came on. He's like, "Hey Levi, what should we talk about? What are you thinking?" And I said, I don't want our sales to fall in the fall. And he's like, well, that's great because I'm preparing a talk that I'm about to do about momentum. Let's do that. And then so boom, it goes live, and he just delivers just truth bombs left and right about just stepping on the gas. When everybody else is running for the shores, you really got to look and say, what are they running from? And what can I run towards? And so I think just keeping your foot on the gas and driving revenue. I think revenue and people solve a lot of the problems, And I mean, I'm not going to cut back on my electric bill. What am I going to cut back on? And so
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that you just continue to have to pay, And so I think just driving more top line revenue solves that,
So, speaking to like agents, teams, and brokers, where should they put the gas on the pedal and like really drive revenue in the fall?
For a team member.
Yeah, for anyone.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, the recipe is very simple. Just get out of your own way. Sometimes the fastest way to get where you want to get is to get out of your own way. I think that, and I've got a story I can share about that here in a bit. But the thing is that, I think that agents, if I had to throw a dart at one big problem, and so if I see newer agents come onto a team, they're in this new environment where they're getting these very expensive things that they call leads, right? And then they don't feel the financial pain point of that yet, right? So these leads that are costing, $700, $800, $900 a phone call, right, for the team lead, right? The agent on the other end is, sometimes overqualifying them on the phone. And we know that when agents get face-to-face with customers, those customers and opportunities close at a significantly higher amount. We're talking 60, 70% higher, right? So just get out of your own way and get face-to-face. Stop, make sure that the person you're about to meet is safe, utilize tools like Forewarn and make sure you're, who they say you're meeting is who you're meeting, and so, but once the safety stuff's taken care of, get face-to-face. And, they're not going to close tomorrow. They're not going to buy the same house. They're going to buy the house that they inquired on Zillow, right? But 3 months later, they will buy a house. 6 months later, they'll buy a house. But you got to get face-to-face, ask them what a win looks like for them, and then operate, solve their problems, and make things happen. And so the agents that are doing that, the agents that aren't like overqualifying pre-appointment, that's who's winning today.
Why is going face to face so important to you?
We're humans, man. I mean, like at the end of the day, like if the buyer or seller didn't want to talk with someone, they wouldn't have pushed the button to meet with somebody, right? And so it's so important. They're looking for somebody to help them, like navigate them through the process. The process is still complicated. It's not an easy process to do, and the risk is profound. If you make a real estate mistake, like your life changes.
Yeah.
But man, if you make a smart real estate decision, your life changes. And the one thing that is helping agents make smart real estate decisions is the agents.
The agent.
And so you can't do that until you get face-to-face. You get face-to-face, find out what a win looks like for them, and then help them solve their problems. And that is the game. And far too often, agents on teams are like, hey, before we meet, are you pre-qualified? Like, they don't want to talk to you about money. They haven't even met you yet. They don't even remember your name. Just get face-to-face. They want to see that house. give them that. Go open that door, show them the house. And then once you have emotional buy-in and that attachment, that connectivity, and they start to trust you, you've earned their business, or you've earned their business. Well, then maybe you start having those conversations. But it's like dating. I mean, you're not getting married when you meet somebody at the bar. I mean, very rarely. I mean, I guess it could happen, but
not not often.
Right. Yeah.
You mentioned the story about getting out of your own way.
Yeah. So like there was this thing, originally there's a product I'm involved in, right? I'm a co-founder of a company called Shiloh AI. And Shiloh AI was originally, it was born in my organization. I'd called up a good friend of mine, Justin Benson, who was the smartest tech guy that I'd known at the time and still is. The guy's phenomenal. And I called up Justin and I'm like, hey man, with all this new AI stuff, can we build a robot? And he's like, well, what do you mean? He's like, I'm thinking about building this robot that can like listen to phone calls and coach agents and tell them what to do, because nobody in my organization, agents, leaders, myself, nobody wants to listen to the phone calls. And then even if I do get the person that wants to listen to them, they can only listen to so many. And so maybe we can take the AI stuff and then we can get it to listen to the phone calls and train them. And he's like, man, that sounds expensive. And I said, all right, well, how much? And so we started talking, and then one thing led to another, and then we started building what was then called the Levi bot inside my own ecosystem. And after we kept going for a few months, and a few months after that, realized that we had something. And then Justin came up with the idea of, hey, let's start this business called Shiloh. And Shiloh was born. But what I didn't realize at the time was that I had this big dream of being able to help agents and help teams and help people just achieve more faster. But what was a hard realization that I wasn't the best person. I wasn't the best person to lead Shiloh or get involved with it at a higher level. Justin was. Justin was the best guy to run that company, and it proved right. And he's doing a phenomenal job running that company. And so I'm a co-founder of Shiloh. I'm involved in the product meetings, and I absolutely love the organization. I'm a customer also, but the right people are running Shiloh. And sometimes to get where you want to go, you got to get out of your own way. And so
that's probably one of the hardest things as a founder, is to kind of step away from the CEO role.
Yeah.
It's like, how was that going through that?
Well, I mean, I was never in that role. We were like sitting at a table like this, trying to figure out with the other co-founder, Chris, what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, and where it's going to go, and so forth. But I'm a very aggressive, lead from the front type of run up the hill with the flag type of guy. It was a lot of internal fighting for me on that. And so we have a great partnership at the table at Shiloh, and so it's really good. But it was honestly a quick thing to figure out that, I mean, Justin, he's the guy, man. He's led Shiloh to do amazing things, and we're just beginning, so it's really cool. So,
really quickly, before we get back into the episode, do you want to grow a hyper-local media company like Kyle Talbot? He added 20 million in sales to his real estate business using Instagram and YouTube, and I created a completely free playbook. In the description below, it goes over all of his templates, everything that he used to grow over 70,000 followers on Instagram, 10,000 on YouTube. So if you want to download it and implement it in your business today, click the link below and download it. It's completely free. Let's get back to the episode. So what is, for example, if I have no clue what Shiloh does, what does it do for the agent? How does it kind of interact with maybe the CRM, or what does it tie into?
So Shiloh's fully integrated with most real estate CRMs right now, and that's growing and changing every day. But primarily, Follow Up Boss is where we started, and so it's fully integrated with the CRM, and it allows the agent to have basically the world's most superhuman AI coach listening to all your phone calls, and grading them, scoring them, also providing that to team leads, and so they can see how Sally, a new agent that is assigned a team, how she's performing on her calls, right? And also it gives the agent real-time notification back on what they did good and what they could improve on, right? The thing is a lot of agents aren't going to raise their hand and say, hey, coach, listen to my phone calls, tell me where I'm bad. But if they just had a phone call in the car when they're, it's just them in the windshield, and then they get into the office and they get a notification and they see, oh man, here's 3 opportunities for me to make that call better. Oh, here's my next action steps. Maybe I should shoot that customer a text. I kind of dropped the ball in there, right? The other thing what's neat about Shiloh is that you can role play the calls that you had. So let's say you had a bad call with a seller, right? Or you had a good call with a seller, it doesn't matter, right? And let's say it was a 2 out of 5. Well, you can jump on there and you can role play that with Shiloh back and forth right there. And so, but you don't have to worry about doing it in front of a room of other agents that it may ridicule you or laugh or what have you. You're not going to get embarrassed. It's just you and Shiloh. And one of the other neat things the team at Shiloh built, like these guys are super smart. Like they're like way smarter than I'll ever be. They built this thing called Shiloh's Insights. So from an organization standpoint, I can go ahead and say, hey, you know
Across
what?
all the calls.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, the last 600 calls that we've had in the last 7 days or whatever, right? Oh, wait, hold on. Let me chop that up. Let me listen to all the Zillow Flex calls post-appointment and pre-contract. Shiloh, tell me where my organization needs improvement. Boom. It helps me accelerate the pace at which I need to train my people. And so I talked about those deep dives on Tuesday that I do with my agents. Every time before those deep dives, I'm running Shiloh's Insights on it because it tells me, it gives me access to truth, right? And the agents may say, hey, I need help here, or their leaders may say, hey, they need help there. But I'm going to ask Shiloh and really find out where they really need help because that's truth. It's analyzing at a capability of which no human can, And so powerful stuff, man.
Yeah, when you have the data, it shows black and white. Like, here's the problem. And you can dive in and be like, okay, great, let's solve that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's increasing appointment rates, it's increasing customer service. I mean, and ultimately helping organizations make more money and make their organization more efficient. So really neat. And we're just at the beginning. There's a lot of neat stuff coming. So
do you have any like numbers to kind of say the impact that it's made or show?
Yeah, we're increasing our appointment rate at 70% year over year. I mean, with Shiloh, I mean, it's insane. It's absolutely insane.
And when you're doing hundreds and thousands of appointments, 70% is a lot.
Yeah,
It's a big number.
It's pretty wild. Pretty wild because, I mean, it just gets you the truth. It lets you know exactly where you need to fix. And so, like our ISA team, every day before they get on and before they leave, they make role play calls with Shiloh. They're just getting better every day.
That's
our
awesome.
agents make role play calls with Shiloh as well. It's just really cool.
So what was like the hardest thing that you had to learn going through developing a tech like that?
To get out of my own way. I know nothing about tech and stop trying to be a tech guy. That's the hardest thing for me. But yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, I sit in the product meetings and offer the perspective of a real estate agent, and a real estate agent team leader and ideas, and I have no idea if these ideas are something that are capable to be done or not. But it was a lot of very smart people that helped build this amazing product for the industry. So.
Nice. That's awesome. And basically it's rolled out for the entire industry and anyone can use it.
Yeah, correct.
With Follow Boss.
Yep. Yeah. Follow Boss, like all the CRMs inside real estate, the KV Core, what do they call now? Bold Trail. You have Lofty. I believe Go High Level. I don't know the whole list off the top of my head, but yeah, it's anybody can use it, and we have about 6,000 users throughout the world right now, so it's going pretty good.
That's awesome to see.
Multiple languages too, like Hindi, Farsi, Spanish. Like if you're having a conversation with a customer in Spanish, it'll coach it in English, so your non-Spanish speaking real estate coach can let you know where you need to improve.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
You can, especially like states like Texas, Florida.
Yeah,
I can definitely see that being a huge thing for huge thing for our teams.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat because like you can have an agent on your team that may be having a conversation, let's say in Farsi, right? chances are that their mentor or their coach or their team lead doesn't speak Farsi. Well, how can they help them get better and win? Well, Shiloh does. Shiloh helps that. So.
And so I'm sure you speak with hundreds of team leaders and other brokers. Like one of the big things that like in conversations that I've had with team leaders is, especially in times like this, profitability through some partnerships like Zillow gets a little tight.
It's tough.
And it gets tough. And you have to look for operational efficiencies, ways to get more out of what you're doing. And if you're speaking to a team leader who is in that point right now and they're trying to drive revenue, create operational efficiencies, just keep growing, like what are the things that they should be thinking through and executing?
Well, there's a lot of people that say that, as a team leader or what have you, that, these folks that are saying like to basically coach these people to be out of their business and be this like executive that walks in with their suit and, and it's like, showing up at 10 o'clock or whatever. I think that right now it's so critical to be in your business. And I think that you need to be able to operate at every level of your business. And I'm not saying go out there and show houses and do that, but you need to be able to understand the agent perspective, right? And you can't change your business and adapt with the dynamic marketplace in a rapid manner unless you understand how the business is working. And so I can go out there, jump right in my ISA team right now and start dialing if I need to, right? And so how the hell am I going to protect my business if I don't know how to run it? And so, but there's a lot of different good arguments that may compete with that as well. But I see a lot of team leaders that are on this whole team leader speaking tour type thing, and any of my friends that are listening out there, like I'm sorry, but it's nothing, no offense, but it just I think it's so important to be an operator right now, to be in your business, operating, grinding with your people, coaching, teaching, mentoring, and driving. Now the problem is how scalable is that? Well, and that's one of the reasons why with Shiloh, Shiloh's helped us do that.
Nice. And when you're thinking of this, like one thing that comes to mind to me is that like I look at, I don't know if you ever heard of the tech lingo of it, but like founder mode. You heard that?
Yeah.
Like Airbnb, Brian Chesky is like, I'm in the weeds. I like know the details of the business. He's able to look at something. He's able to review it and give feedback on it. Whereas like some of the other founders aren't necessarily in the weeds of it, so they're not able to give that feedback in the moment.
100%. Like I am, I think that what Tom calls it, I don't know if I heard you correctly, but Tom tells me it's founder's dilemma, right? Like it's just like you're in there, right? Like if something happens a Saturday at 10 p.m., like I have absolutely zero problem solving that problem. But you also have to have a great family to support that, right? And I'm very blessed to have a great partner, Myra. You met her, and this is my fiance.
Oh,
and
nice.
So,
Awesome.
you have to have a great partner as well. And so, it's not for everybody, but I absolutely love work. I love my people, and there's nothing that will get in the way of me providing for helping my people win. I mean, I wake up passionate about that every day.
Yeah. And I'm curious. So I was talking to someone. He calls it. He's in the messy middle of like his organization. I think they have somewhere north of like 50 agents, maybe like 20 to 30 support staff roughly. So he's like 75, and he's just like very media heavy. So that's why his support staff is a little higher. What do you have to learn as like a leader in like organizationally thinking and then having like being so dialed in on what to focus on every single day at that like 50 to 100 range to allow you to grow to that 300?
Yeah, the 50 to 100 range. I mean, so that's tough because you're still probably producing yourself. You may not be. It just depends on, your financial situation, depends on the economics of your real estate business, whether you're at a big brokerage or you're independent. There's a lot of factors that can change that, right? But yeah, that messy middle is a scary spot, right? And it's a lot easier to be profitable when you're very small or very big. But when you're in the middle, man, it is tough, right?
Yeah.
And so, for me, that helped us get out of that messy middle was getting mentors and coaches and other people to help our agents to succeed. And so that allowed me to focus on recruiting and getting people in the funnel and allowing other mentors and sales coaches teach them the basics of what an agent needs to succeed in our organization.
So for you, it was like in different types of businesses, they call it like fulfillment, which is like the core clients, for example, agents, and then recruiting is kind of like the back end of like acquisition of it all. So you had to move out of the sales side of the business a little bit from having management level so that you could focus on like the recruiting aspect of it. That was like a big thing, is having that leadership from a sales side.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think really it was a decision too, just saying, hey guys, this is the pathway. And at the time, I still remember I'll give you a tour of the office, but we have a display board up on the wall there that.
I think you told me about
I showed you about this before.
You told me about it, but I didn't see it.
Okay, I'm going to show it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I bring in this lady Caitlin probably twice a year, and she helps us basically do a very organized SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats to our organization. And I think back to when we were probably about 50 people, had all of our mentors and leaders in the room, and we were talking about the future. And about half of the room were like, hey, we need to stay light and tight. We need to double down on the people that we have and make sure that, we create super real estate agents with capes, that can go close 100 houses a month, or what have you. And then you had the other half of the room that was like, no, we need to go big and we need to just get a bunch of agents, et cetera, et cetera. And we war gamed the living daylights out of it, right? But while we were war gaming, it was very clear that recruiting more people solved all the problems that we had. And so when it became very clear to us, and then the coaches that I was involved with at the time, all this coming into us right at the same time, I just became just full of purpose. Like, we were getting bigger, we were adding more agents today. What are you doing to add more agents today? What are you doing to add more agents today? So driving that mission per se was my main role at that time, for sure. Yeah.
I don't know if you know Via Williams.
Via?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know her well. Yeah.
So I just spoke with her, and we kind of had a similar conversation. There's a debate between like the person who wants to build that Navy SEAL team, and wants to like have high retention, high producing agents versus like the struggle of just recruiting agents to recruit agents. How do you kind of think of?
No, I think it's somewhere in the middle. I mean, like, you don't want to go recruit an agent. Like, my agents are wonderful. Absolutely wonderful group of people, super blessed. Our leaders are wonderful. Like I just so blessed with what we have here, especially as an independent. We don't have a big backing of like a KW or EXP or a REMAX or anything like that. We're an independent real estate company, which also gives us a unique competitive advantage as well. I can get into that. But, I think the answer is somewhere in the middle, and I think it's not the same for every organization. And also price point, right? Like, if you're a luxury home focused real estate team in San Antonio, well, yeah, you're probably not going to get big. You know what I mean? Like, but you can still go out there and do a lot of sales. I mean, that's a highly specialized segment of the marketplace that you're just not going to have 300 people that focus on luxury sales in one market, right? And so we focus on a wide variety of stuff. I've got agents that focus on new homes, and I got agents that focus on median value. I've got agents that focus on luxury, lake property, you name it. We've got a lot of things for everybody. And so that allows us to go a little bit bigger. But yeah, that's a hard question to have or to answer. And there's very, very real answers. Like, excuse me how I say this. viable responses that support both arguments. Yeah, I mean, like, having a Navy SEAL type team, I'd say more of a Army Special Forces team,
Special
not
Forces.
a Navy SEAL team.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's my little zing towards the Navy. There's a good argument for that, right? But there's also a good argument to make a big, huge army as well. Everybody's afraid of China, not because of their great tech, but they have millions of people in their army. Yeah.
So you mentioned there's a benefit of being independent, and I'm curious because there are teams who get up to the size of like 30, 50, 75, and they start thinking, should they go boutique? How do they make that decision of when it makes sense versus not?
Yeah, well, so I went through that, and that's actually the model that's hanging on my wall. It was the most significant business decision I've ever made, is when we left, and no offense to REMAX. REMAX was great to us. It was a great organization and helped me. I would not have the business I have today without REMAX, and so this isn't a gig on REMAX, but at the time, I needed to move fast and swift with our partners at Zillow. And Zillow had they were feeding me a ton of business opportunities, and they had some requirements that I needed to meet, right? And in order to meet those requirements, we kept running into challenges with the red tape per se of the big box brokerage. Well, I had to make a choice, and the only way to control decision authority in my organization is to make it my organization. And so it allows us to move as swift as humanly possible. I mean, I don't know how, like, I am the chief executive of my business, as long as I run within the laws that are out there within the Texas Real Estate Commission and the state of Texas and all the other governing bodies. I'm free to do whatever I need to do to support my business and my agents. And I wanted to remove any barriers that prevented or made more difficult for my agents to thrive. And so that's why I went independent. But you got to be ready for that responsibility as well. I mean, you got to be ready for the additional costs. You got to be ready for when you get sued. I mean, you can't go call Big KW to help you out when you're independent. So there's a lot more risk out there as well with that too. So
that's what I was going to ask. Is like when you're going through that decision of like you need to be able to make executives authority in decisions, but then on the other side, it's like the risk, the legal, the financial aspect. Like, how do you kind of weigh that, and like what goes through your mind if you're going to talk to someone who's going through that same decision right now? How should they kind of think through it?
Well, I think that it's different for everyone.
Yeah.
But for me, we had a huge partnership at the time, right? And so I had that way in on me. I don't know if I would have made the decision. That same decision had I not had that opportunity with the Zillow Offers program, just being transparent. But I'm glad I did, right? And so, I think that you got to have enough money in the bank to make sure that you can support the company. You are responsible for everything that happens or fails to happen under your charter. And you put your name on the wall. Be ready for the responsibility that comes with it. If the toilet's leaking on a Saturday night, I mean, get ready to drive into the office and fix it if you have to, And so I think that making sure that you're operating a business that's efficient enough to mitigate the risk, but then also having the professional maturity to do the right thing always is such a critical aspect of it. And truth be told, there's a lot in our industry that are great team leaders, but they're not great CEOs, and that's okay. That's all right. It's not a bad thing. It's just be honest with yourself. One of our core values here at the organization is we look in the mirror before we look through the glass, and I think that most problems in real estate and probably business and life alike can be solved in the mirror. And oftentimes we're looking through the glass to solve our problems, i.e., blaming others for our problems. And if you can't look in the mirror and solve most of your problems, maybe you should be at a bigger brokerage. And being at a bigger brokerage isn't a bad thing. I have a lot of good friends that are great big brokerages that run big teams and massive teams that are way more successful than ours, and so I'm not throwing darts at that, but simply just sharing how it went for my journey. And just got to be honest with yourself, look in the mirror, and if it's the right thing for you, give it a shot. And I think too that when I was in the Army, when you do land navigation, you are trained to do so land navigation. You're walking across, let's say, I don't know, the mountains or whatever, and you got no roads or no street signs of where to turn left and right. So it can be incredibly challenging, right? And so one of the things that we train in the special forces to do is to put checkpoints and backstops whenever we are doing land navigation. Okay, I'm going here. I'll just cross this river. Okay, good checkpoint. I'm going in the right direction. Oh, I hit this lake. I've gone too far. Backstop. So put checkpoints and backstops in your route to wherever you're going. And if you don't hit those checkpoints, maybe you need to back up a little bit,
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And for example, like we have an organization of about 50. So selfishly, I'm curious, what makes a good CEO versus a bad CEO?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think that understanding that you're responsible for everything that fails to or happens or fails to happen, and which means that if it's time for you to put in extra work, you gotta put in that work, and so yeah, you gotta be willing to carry that weight. You are responsible for everything that happens or fails to happen in your organization, period. Even if somebody goes out there and does something completely outside of your control, what systems, tools, and infrastructure do you have in place to make sure it didn't happen or it did happen or what have you? And yeah, sometimes it's scary.
Extreme ownership.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and then the problem too is that running a large organization where you have 300 people that are independent contractors, that's tough. That's tough.
It's like you can't exactly tell them what to do, but you can like coach them what to do and hope that they can go down the path that would be beneficial for both of you.
Right. Absolutely. And then that's okay though too, right? That, like I chose to get in this business. Nobody forced me to get in this business, right? And then so I think that just understanding that that's just the way real estate is, and we are in business. I have a job because agents need help, and so who the hell am I to complain about them needing help coaching?
Yeah.
Like that's why I have that's why I have a job. I almost dropped the F-bomb on your
no,
podcast.
You can,
okay,
you
all right.
Can say it.
I can? Oh, okay, all right. I didn't know if I was going to get ABC like beep. But seriously, like if you're in real estate leadership and you're complaining about coaching, teaching, mentoring agents, well, like this ain't the right industry for you. You know what I mean? Like that's what we do. That's why we have a job. Yeah.
I was having a conversation the other day with a few people, and it's just realizing and looking at like what business are you actually in, and like taking it at face value and be like, you're in the people business.
100%.
Like that comes with every aspect of that. It's like, are you okay with it? Yeah. And you signed up for it. So you have to do the duties of being in the people business.
Yeah, 100%. This is it's a people game for sure. But that's our unique value proposition. That's why we have a business. That's what we're in. I mean, I'm so on like team people. When I go to Sam's Club, they have 2 lines for like the human line, and then they have like 8 robot lines where you can go through and you could robot your own thing with the little machine or whatever. I'm still that guy that's standing in the human line, and I have the human scanning my groceries from Sam's on a Saturday. So,
yeah, just dealing with the people that you want to, you like it.
Well, I think for me, that when I was out there operating as an individual real estate agent and when I was through sales, I felt that every opportunity to interact with somebody I didn't know before was an opportunity to sell them a house. Because like we were talking before we started the podcast, we sell a product that everybody has or wants, home. Yeah. And so every opportunity I have to meet a new person, chances are they need or want what I sell. So why wouldn't I do that? And so whether I'm at the Sam's Club line or whether I'm getting a haircut or whether I'm getting my car washed, there's a new person that I get to meet behind that transaction. So, I just like to talk to people.
And so as an example, like we have 50 people in Slack. I'm very like OCD obsessive about inboxing. I inbox 0 Slack and email every single day.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but like I know for example, 100 plus definitely can't do that. How do you deal with all of your notifications in Slack?
Oh yeah, no, I'm horrible with that. Yeah, like so. Yeah, I'm terrible with the notifications, and so it's funny story is that our ISA team actually put up a TV. Well, we have a TV in the war room. I'll show it to you. And so my office, it has a glass door. And so that TV's sole purpose, they have about 10 different notifications that flash up on that TV. It's a 65-inch TV. Sometimes it'll say, hey, like maybe there's some sort of critical message that I need to see or what have you, and it'll flash on the screen. And, while I'm in there working in my office, oh, I see that, And so our team helps me kind of stay in line. And I recently got Fixer AI to help me keep my inbox in check, but
Nice.
I don't know if it's helping me, man. It's just giving me more anxiety, and I have more stuff to look at. But yeah, mine's a table ball yarn, and I just do my best that I can. I walk around with 2 phones. I've got my laptop, but yeah, Slack is just ding, just crazy for me.
You have a quote that like you feel like you're always 3 months late, and the ball of yarn is always moving.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
What does that mean to you?
Well, like I think when you say like the ball of yarn is always moving, I think that sometimes in this dynamic world that we're in, I mean that yarn can get tangled up really, really fast, right? And so I mean you just got to keep that sucker going and making sure that it's not getting tangled up and staying ahead of change and going from there. One of the things I like to say is like the real estate market is changing in such a rapid manner, and so you need to change with it because it's a lot more comfortable than getting changed. And so, like, it's just a lot more comfortable to change ahead of being changed. And so, we just try to stay ahead of everything, But I do a good job of responding to emails and stuff, and I have a great assistant, Jael, that really helps me keep me in line with everything, and just do the best that I can. But yeah, I'm definitely I'm not the shining North Star of organization in terms of inbox and notifications and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think anyone is. I feel like it's a constant learning process.
Yeah.
Of how to deal with it.
Oh, yeah, it's wild. Yeah, and then Slack. I mean, such a great tool. It's funny that like these tools that are meant to help organize you, and sometimes make you less organized because now it's like, whoa, I'm in like 8 different company Slack,
Different threads, channels, like everything.
Absolutely, yeah, it's wild. And then, but hey, it is what it is. And so I can't imagine running my business without Slack.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, this stuff is great. It is a neat tool. Like I could be on an airplane running my business, or I could be completely somewhere else and running my business.
Really quickly, before we get back into the episode, did you know that email beats the ROI of social media 40-1? If you want to turn your email list into more listing appointments, then you need to check out Ella. Ella is the only email marketing agency for real estate agents. We help you build a hyper-local email newsletter. We also send conversation starter emails, and we do way more. So you can turn your email into a profitable marketing channel this year. Click the link below. Check it out. Hope to see you in there. Let's get back to the episode.
Yeah, that's why I love it. It's like you could be on an airplane, look through all the channels, figure out which ones you can answer to at the moment, which ones you need to answer to, and you're just like triaging.
Right. I'll tell you a funny story. We haven't talked about this one. This one may be a surprise for you.
Okay.
So when I was a kid, I worked at a pizza restaurant before I joined the Army. And so I worked at this restaurant called Godfather's Pizza. Nice. And Godfather's Pizza, I always thought I was just going to be a pizza guy for the rest of my life. And joined the Army, went off to do great things in the Army, but always had this dream of getting in pizza. Well, Myra and I were out west one time, and about 2 years ago, and I saw a sign that said Godfather's Pizza next exit. And like, Godfather's Pizza? Holy smokes, I thought they went underwater. I thought that was over. And so we pulled off, and then we went in, and I ate all the pizza, and I was like really excited, I said, I want to bring Godfathers to San Antonio. And so what I did last summer, is I said, before I do this, before I go ahead and go into this pizza thing, I'm going to go work in a pizza restaurant for a month and a half. So I flew
last year?
Yeah. So I flew to Omaha, right? worked in a pizza restaurant in June of 2024.
When the market was not that pretty.
Nobody had any freaking idea, right? And so I was working at nights in a pizza restaurant in Omaha for 6 weeks, okay? And like I would come out and like I would run my deep dives from a rental car or from the little hotel that I stayed in or whatever. But I wanted to find out for myself if like I could run my company remotely, and if this is something that I could love and whatever. But for 6 weeks, I ran my company remotely. Nobody knew. Nobody had any idea that I was in Omaha working in a pizza restaurant. I was like making pizzas and stocking shelves and like just like a dude in the pizza restaurant. It was so freaking cool. And so I worked out a deal with Godfather's franchise where we bought the rights to all of San Antonio. And we launched the first one earlier this year. And I have a great partner. He's running it. He's a restaurant guy. I'm not a restaurant guy, but I like pizza, and so so it's just really neat. But I don't know what made me think of that story, but Slack, yeah.
Yeah,
so,
Slack.
But yeah, it's just
Being able to work remote.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Yeah,
That's awesome.
and it's a scalability of technology, right? Like it makes you a little bit more superhuman, you know.
What did your team think when you actually told them what you did?
So I was really nervous about that. You know, I was like, because I'm very committed to never compromising on my commitment to my people, right?
Yeah.
But I also have a responsibility to myself to live out my dreams. And I think that we get one shot at life. And it's one thing I coach my people all the time is, hey, man, whether your dreams are here or somewhere else, I want to help you achieve them. And so, but I also got to take care of myself and achieve my dreams. And this opportunity came in my life, and I spoke with my family, and we just did it. And then, like I said earlier, having a supportive family is a big part of this, right? You can't do this without a great partner. And Myra's been a phenomenal partner to me, and she's helped. She helped. I mean, she put in extra work to help and do the thing so that I can see if it was part of our journey. And so, and then when I told the team, I just made sure that they knew that, hey, I'm not going to be over there, that's not my new job or anything, it's just something I've invested in and something I'm part of, and heck, I mean, every one of you will probably get a lot of pizza around here too, so there's a benefit to it as well. And so, it's neat. And so yeah, that's that. The team's been very supportive of it. Hasn't been any problem. We've been running for a few months now, so it's good.
It's kind of cool that because you shared your story about why living your dream was important on the first one.
Yeah.
And it's cool, even you talking about it, like, still brings up those feelings too.
Yeah. I mean, life's short. You got to go out there and you got to put a smile on your face. You know what I mean? It's super important. So,
If I asked you today, like, are you happy?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that happiness is something, though, that we always want to get happier. For sure. I mean, I think that it's one of those things where you get to where you wanted to get, and then what's next, and what's next, and what's next. And so, I think about what happiness looks like for me in business. I think I probably have about 7 to 10 years of like grinding, like hard, left, and then probably slow down. But I really enjoy it. I mean, I look forward to waking up in the morning and getting to work. It's exciting to me.
How do you balance and maybe you don't even think about it at this point anymore, but like it's easy to get, especially in this industry where all the numbers are everywhere.
Yeah.
And like seeing what everyone else is doing, like you reach one level, you want to get to another level, there's another number, there's another level, another number. And it seems like you're just happy and joyful in operating of today.
Yeah. I think that I'm focused on doing activities that have led to success and will lead to success. I'm not really focus on what Real Trends thinks of me, or what have you. Honestly, I don't even think we fill those little things out anymore. To be honest with you, we used to. We did for a long time, and certainly like our agents really enjoy the competitive nature of sales, where they're on our leaderboards and things like that. So I'm not anti any of that stuff, but I just don't let it drive me. I am focused on just doing the activities that I know lead to success. Getting up in the morning and driving to the office and getting to work. And so I'm not really too much worried about all that. hey, look at me stuff anymore.
Did it take something or some moment for you to like switch from, I'm not saying you ever were, but
No, I was.
just talking to others who are just very numbers focused and just being in that like world to reach a different place where you're like as happy as you are today with the business today, but still wanting to grow it, but like happy today and operating in the daily.
I gotta give credit, like my coaching group that I'm in. I mentioned earlier, I'm in Tom Ferry's private group, his legacy group that he has there. There's probably about 15 to 20 of us, and I was able to insert myself into a room of people that I want to be like, and learn a lot from them. There's a guy that's become a really good friend of mine in that group, George Lawton. I don't know if you ever heard of George Lawton. He runs a great team out of Arizona. Probably one of the most humble, servant, smart leaders I've ever met. So I try to put myself in the room of people I want to be like, so that I can learn from them and just walk out of the room a little bit better every time. I don't have a background as a young man to where I had a whole bunch of mentorship and guidance. My family didn't have a bunch of money, and I just had to learn and along the way. And so just putting myself in the right room. Greg Schwartz, ex-president of Zillow, is a really good friend of mine, has taught me a lot over the years, and so many others. And I mean, Tom has been a phenomenal friend as well. And so putting myself in a room of people that I want to be like has been the thing that's helped me do that.
Yeah, it's like the saying, proximity is power, and you want to be like the dumbest person in the smartest room.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I definitely fit that cue every time I do a Shiloh product meeting. I am definitely the dumbest person in the smartest room. Those guys are super intelligent, man. Like it is amazing how smart these guys are. Like it's just like, wow. Like I didn't know. Oh, so it's gonna think for you and do the thing. Like, oh wow, okay, all right. Oh, it's going to update that and do that? Like, wow. All right. And so it's pretty wild. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. I definitely prescribe to that same idea of you want to be in rooms that make you feel like the smallest one.
Yeah.
And it just makes you be better
100%.
as a whole. So,
yeah.
I'm curious, like, as like a business owner, you talked a lot about the right partner. How do you know when you found the right partner who has your back, is mission aligned with you, and it's someone that you can build a life with?
Yeah, I would say when the alarm goes off at 3 o'clock in the morning, is she helping you get the problem fixed? And in my case, she does. Yeah. And so I think that the waters aren't always smooth, right? And if you have somebody there helping you just brave the storm and charge the hill and so forth, man. I'm getting emotional thinking about it, man. But like, if somebody has your back, not just in the good times when you're, flying to Vegas on that Southwest air flight, and having a great weekend, but somebody that's there when times are tough, and because our journey hasn't been easy at all, and I think it's fair to say that all of my peers, all the successful team leaders out there, their journeys haven't been easy either. It is a very tough industry to win in, and that's across all brokerages, man. I mean, whether you're an independent or you're at one of the big box brokerages, all of us have challenges. Some of them are similar, and some of them are unique to our own specific journey. But there's nobody that's had an easy pathway, and especially like in the Zillow Flex ecosystem, right? That is a very high demand, but highly opportunistic environment as well, right? If you can get in there and you could perform, it won't be easy. You may take some jabs to the face, but when you get out on the other side, man, it's a beautiful place to be. Like, man, my partnership with Zillow, these guys, man, like they get such like, well, I think it's changing now, to be honest with you. But there was a time period where they got such a negative perception in the agent marketplace.
Yeah.
I've had a complete different journey with them. Those guys have changed my freaking life, man, and have allowed me to be a catalyst and change other people's lives through that partnership. And the industry that talks shit about Zillow, they're wrong, man. They're absolutely wrong. And And for me, like, it's just been a huge blessing for me, that partnership. So
Yeah, I don't know if you know Sean McConnell in Seattle, Washington, but he kind of says the same too. He's
right,
just
yeah,
big team up there. So
yeah, yeah. It's man, it's just been a blessing. But yeah, not easy, man. You know, and every team lead's gonna have. Certainly, they're going to run into speed bumps and potholes along the journey. You know, there's no such thing as a smooth road in real estate. You know,
so if you look at your journey and everything, the roller coaster and all that, like, what do you think helps you kind of get through those tough times?
I think having great people. You know, I think back to I tell this story a lot to where when I give you the tour. You'll see different colored chairs out there, and I keep them out there on the floor for a reason. And when our business was growing and we didn't have the money to buy furniture, I got on, I don't know, like Amazon or whatever, and bought the cheapest chairs that we can buy. And then, you know, 5 of my team members and we met late at night and we screwed them all together and put them together and so forth. I mean, people, you know, I think your people, your team, and that's what helps you get through it, you know. But that's one of the reasons why I keep them out there. And I'll show you something else. Right in the beginning, you may remember when you walked in. Did you see the Ginny boat? That boat on the counter.
I remember.
Yeah. So right when COVID happened, and I may have told this story last time we talked. I don't know. But when COVID happened, Zillow Offers was thriving at the time. And then COVID smacked Earth, right? Like big problem, you know, political issues, like real world health issues. I mean, like the pandemic was I mean, people were dying. I mean, it's a big thing. And Zillow made the decision to stop Zillow Offers operations like the very next day until they could figure out how. And so the team was probably about 25, 30 people at the time. And so I was really stressed out. And at the time I was pretty heavy. I was probably about 80 pounds heavier than what I am right now. I went home that night and I was just shoving tacos down my throat. And I was watching a movie, the Forrest Gump movie. And I was watching the Forrest Gump movie. And I got right to the part where Lieutenant Dan and Forrest, they were coming back with all the shrimp. If you remember, they were out in the ocean in a little messed up boat, and they came back with all the shrimp. And I hit pause, and I was like, you know what, Myra, that's it. Our Jenny boat. Everybody else is running for the shore. We're going out in the ocean. And so the very next morning, I had my assistant, Yael, she got a YouTube clip of that part of the movie, and I called the team together on Zoom, and I said, hey, guys, I'm going to refinance a house. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to put all the chips in. But we're going to go out that way. And from this point forward, this is our Jenny boat. And I want people in our boat. I don't want passengers. I want only crew. And so if you're a passenger, you can get off my boat. But if you're crew and you're with me, let's roll. And everybody raised their hand. It was a special moment. And what was neat about that is later that year, the team, that boat that's out there, it's got its own little camera, right? And that boat that's out there, right, the team made that and gave that to me. And it's like COVID-19, keep your Jenny in the water. And it's like a symbol here at our company. And it's like this weird mascot or what have you, but it's right there at the entrance so that every agent, every guest that comes here gets to see that and hear that story. And it's pretty powerful to me. But yeah, this is my Jenny boat, man. And everyone here has a responsibility to keep our boat in the water. And anybody poking holes in our boat, they, you know, so.
Yeah, it's while everyone's running, go in the water.
What's that?
While everyone's running for the shore, put your boat in the water.
Yeah, you should really be asking yourself, well, maybe should I go the other way? You know, should I be going the other direction? What's everybody running from? You know, is that a problem I can solve? You know what I mean? And unfortunately, there's a lot of outside factors. I mean, interest rates dropped like crazy. You know, there's a lot of things that helped. It wasn't just me and my boat that changed the day. You know, I mean, interest rates really helped that. But if I'd have ran for the shores and shut the company down, like it would have been much harder to start back up. And so, no.
That's awesome. So if people want to follow you, where should they go?
I think Facebook. I don't know what generation. My Generation X. I don't know what. I'm 47, so I'm a Facebook guy. But my kids tell me I'm old because I use Facebook. But yeah, I think Facebook's probably the best place. That's where I'm most active. We have the Instagram but yeah, Facebook's is that's where I'm at, and just Levi Rodgers. It's pretty easy to find on Facebook or whatever.
Nice. Everyone should go follow you on Facebook.
Okay, all right, yeah.
So a few like quick questions. I was curious, when you look at like the pie of all of the leads that you generate for the business, like what does that pie roughly look like percentage wise? Like X from this percent, X from this percent, just so people maybe have a scope of like, okay, this is how.
Yeah. Right now, top of funnel leads, I'd say about 50% Zillow. Okay. I would say that the other 50% is made up of organic, just through our website. One of the things we've done a tremendously good job on is our SEO. Over the last 2 years, I hired this guy. He just does a phenomenal job of blog writing and helping me just keep Google happy. And he's really turned we've been very, very blessed in that regard, right? And so we probably set, I'd say probably 8 appointments a day, simply just from our SEO, which is
That's awesome.
is very valuable, especially considering the cost of a Zillow lead, right?
Yeah.
And so then we do, the paid services through our partners, we'll do Google pay-per-click and things of that nature. I have some other lead aggregators that we work with through Easy Home Search is one of them. We have a great partnership with Veterans United. I have a great partnership with Redfin and Open Door. So we utilize partnerships because I think our superpower is setting that appointment, coaching that agent to service that appointment and opportunity. We have the systems and infrastructure to make sure that the partner's paid on time. Just all that stuff is pretty wired-tight. So yeah, 50% Zillow. The other 50% is chopped up with that. Now, one of the things that we've done a lot with, I have a great partnership with a company called Fellow, with Ryan Young at Fellow. Ryan, he really, in my opinion, changed the mindset of the industry to look within and basically really look in the mirror and look inside your database that you already have, right? And what can you aggregate there? So we generate a substantial amount of appointments a month through our partnership with Fellow simply by reaching out in a smart way to the database that we already have. And so every day we're probably setting, 45 to 60 appointments for our agents. So it's
Nice.
good. It's
That's awesome.
healthy. Yeah.
And is there like a book or maybe like a podcast, something that you always find yourself recommending to people?
If I always what?
Is there like a book or a podcast that you find yourself recommending to people?
I don't want to sound cliche, but man, I really like the Joe Rogan podcast, man. like that's the one I'm watching at night, But no, I'm not a big reader, Okay. I tell you, I'll watch a short TikTok videos. I engage I'm in a group mastermind with my coach. Tom's got a group mastermind of very high-performing real estate agents. Same with a title partner that we have called Navi Title. They've aggregated really good other industry leaders in there that are on this group text. So basically, I'm just engaging with people. I really dig into ChatGPT and just ask it questions. Anytime I have a questions, no matter where I'm at, I'm asking ChatGPT, hey, what do you think about this? How do you think about that? Hey, I saw this this news article. Can you help analyze it and help me better understand it? Yeah, but I'm not the type of guy that's going to sit down and read a whole book, especially nowadays, right? Like you can name any book and tell me like, hey, Levi, this is the most amazing book, and I can get on ChatGPT and I could be like, hey,
summarize the book.
Right? Yeah, summarize this sucker for me. Let me know the 3 key points and how can I implement it in my business now. Go, yeah, and so. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever be a reader, but it's quite wild. I'm an author, and so I wrote a book. But
you have a book coming out.
Yeah. So it's wild. Yeah. So
And it'll be cool to see it face to face when it does come out.
What's that?
It'll be cool when the book face to face does come out.
Yeah, get face to face. Yeah, we should be out by the end of the year, and really, really exciting book. It's everything that I believe here in sales. I mean, I think that so many people try to come up with a magic wand solution to everything real estate. Man, just get face to face, and just be a good person. Help people achieve a win, and you'll win in real estate. When you help people win, you win. And it's that simple.
Exactly. And is there one like weird or surprising way that you use ChatGPT?
Weird and surprising way I use ChatGPT. I'm trying to think, man. I don't know. I just use it for everything. Like I'm anytime I run into some sort of problem or something I'm preparing for, I'll have it help me analyze it. I mean, I'm not one of these guys that has like ChatGPT integrated with things, or I don't know how to do all that. There's a lot of really super AI wizards out there, right? But no, I just use it to help me make me a little bit better. If I'm going into a meeting, I'm going to prepare for that meeting. I'm going to have notes, and I'm probably maybe going to take a picture of it, upload it to ChatGPT, and be like, hey, what do you think about this, or what have you? Or if I just very basic level user for me, But I ask it everything. It's like a performance coach, a life coach for me. Helps me craft better emails sometimes, and basic level, But I really would love to level up my game in that regard, though. I mean, I think that it's crazy that I co-founded an AI company, and I'm just like, still doing it like this. It's kind of wild.
It's all right. You're not the tech person, so it's normal.
Yeah.
I'm not the best at it either.
Yeah.
So, is there like one person you'd maybe want to like show love to? Like it's easy to like show love to people like later in life, and make it a thing to kind of show appreciation to people earlier.
Yeah. You talking about like in the industry, or just?
Yeah, maybe someone in the industry, someone who's kind of like helped you, was like a big piece of what you were able to build, or someone you saw as like a mentor, or.
I mentioned both of them earlier, but at a very
George Lawton and
yeah. So Tom Ferry and George Lawton. I mean, these guys really came into my life. I mean, Greg Shorts as well. But when the market changed, things got tough financially. Things got tough business-wise, and it came time, like Tom would say, to be that wartime general. Tom put me on his stage, exposed me to his entire ecosystem, and exposed my organization to his entire ecosystem. And he told the world that Levi's his friend, and that had a very positive impact on my business, and that friendship remains strong to this day. And through that partnership, I met George. George has been just a wonderful guy, and has taught me quite a bit. I learn from that guy every time I get in a room. It's wild, and I mean, like, he's good looking, he's wealthy, and he's smart, and he's very humble. Like just like good guy, man. And
nice.
So I learn from him every time I get an opportunity to get in a room. So I'd say Greg, Tom, and George. I mean, and Greg picks up the phone every time I call him with a problem, and I usually only call him when I got a problem. And so he's a really busy guy. So, I would not have the success I've had in business without people being there for me, not just at the good times, but the bad times. And it's something that I'll never forget.
Yeah. And my last question, working in special forces, the Green Beret, all the leadership you saw there, building the organization you have now, the leadership that you had to learn along the way, the people like those, the other leaders that you've been able to cross paths with. What does world-class leadership mean to you?
You mentioned earlier extreme ownership. I mean, everything that happens or fails to happen is your responsibility. And you just have to own that. And like, you can't be looking through the glass for like, like excuses or anything. Like, you have to realize if you decide you're going to put your name on somebody's fucking wall and it's your own wall, that you're responsible for everything that happens behind those doors, whether good or bad. And you got to be ready to freaking handle that. And that's something the Army's taught me, because when you're in a gunfight and you're the commander, like these men that I wear on my bracelet, we talked about my story on another talk, but these men lost their lives under my direction, and I lived. I didn't intend for that to happen, nor does anybody think I did. But I was the commander. I was in charge. These men lost their lives based off decisions I made or didn't make. I mean, and, it's something I live with every day. And how does that help me in business? Well, it helps me in business because I know that everything that happens or fails to happen here, it's my responsibility. And am I going to walk by work? Am I going to not do the right thing? Sometimes leadership puts you in positions to where you have to let go of friends, to where you have to do the hard right. And, having the professional maturity to do that, it's a very, very tough thing. One of the hardest things we do in real estate leadership is balance personal and professional relationships. It is an extremely difficult thing in our industry because our big superpower is like accentuating the personal relationship of everything, and but it's also a huge threat as well. And you got to have that maturity to be able to understand that. And so, yeah, man, everything that happens or fails that happens, it's on you, the leader.